All right. Good afternoon, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Churvapalooza. It's gonna be an interesting topic as always because people have different ways of celebrating holidays. If you remember from our last episode, we already started, talking about the holidays, right? This episode is about sharing our proven and tested tips in getting ready for the holidays. Trust me, guys, we've been event planners for so many years and making everything ready is our thing. And not only that, we're also moms. We were mothers at an early age. We breathe, sleep, eat, drink, planning. Okay. So, but before I go ahead and continue, I would like to make sure that this is clear for everyone that our views and opinions that we express as your podcast host, these are our own opinions and it's based on our individual experiences. We do not intend to malign, generalize, or stereotype anyone or anything. All right, I'm so excited. But before we go ahead and do that, let us, of course, say hi to the gang. Of course, I'm with my friends again. Hi, Chick. Hi, Ting.
Hello. Hi,
Hi.
hi. I'm glad we're back again.
I know, right? I said this is really a nice get together for us. Before we move to the discussion today, let's go ahead and check on with you guys what you have been up to since the last time that we were together. Who wants to start? What's your churva, ladies?
So this week I went thrifting with Kissy, and it's what we call UK or ukay ukay in the Philippines, right? So can you believe meron ding ukay ukay dito sa Canada?
Did you get a lot of stuff?
Yes, I got really great items for like $8, $10.
Nice.
Ganon, yeah,
Hmm,
it's happy. Minsan
that's nice.
magfa-fashion show ako sa inyo.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. What about
Okay.
you, Chick?
We wanted to have a bigger living room space so we can just get a really nice, comfy couch. So we just decided, well, we actually did it yesterday. We started yesterday, said, okay, let's do it, right? So we just took down the wall. And now, right now, while we're recording, Lawrence is doing the electrical stuff. The living room looks so big and spacious. And this is all I wanted, like, kind of like an open concept. So, and we're proud, like we're all always doing the renovation and whatever work in the house. So teamwork.
Make the
Karen,
dream work. There
Karen,
you
that
go.
Team
Yes,
Karen.
teamwork makes the dream work. Nice. Thank you, ladies. Good stuff. So let us now talk about how to prepare. For me, I'm just not sure with you, ladies, and to our listeners. For me, the main thing that I'd like to do before any event, even if it's not the holidays, is that I always like to clean up. Decluttering, because when I clean up, I want to clear out closets, things that I don't use. I can either throw them away or donate them. Sometimes you still have some items at home that you're not using, but you can still make money out of it. Post it in marketplace, do an online selling. I like to do this before I start planning for the holidays because it will give me, just having a clear space gives me enough, the proper frame mind to really plan it out. And I should be able to see what can be used, what can be thrown. If I clean up everything, that should put me at a good spot as how to I start my planning. So a plan will never be called a plan if you do not make your list. I think second thing important is making sure that you list down everything first. So Ting, our good friend Ting is here. She's gonna help us with how to effectively create a list. What are the basic one list that you normally create?
Well, yeah, thank you for, passing this on to me. Um, I'm a huge fan of making lists. As event planners, as Jack mentioned, it's one of our main organization tools. So,
Correct.
first off, what I can suggest is to write it down. That's the main thing. Maybe you can start with a mental note, but for better recording, make sure it goes to paper and not just any like loose leaf paper or sticky note that's there, because that's there's always a danger of losing it. So I
True.
like to make my lists on a notebook or a journal just to secure your notes. And then in the early stages of planning, as soon as I think about it, or as soon as a thought comes to you, write it down until you have time to sit down and formulate your thoughts, but at least your ideas are there.
Correct.
So Going back to Jack's question, what lists should be created for your holiday preparation? Marami yan. There's a lot. You can make as many different types of lists as you want to, depending on what kind of planner you are. You can be very detailed, as
Mhm.
in to the letter, or you may keep it general if you're the more easygoing type. Here, I'll be talking about some that worked for me. Of
Okay.
course,
Okay.
yeah, of course, you want to start with a general budget list
Mhm.
that's realistic. You don't want to overspend during the holidays. What's worked for me is to just have a ballpark figure in mind. The
Mhm.
earlier you can plan for your budget, the better. But I
Mhm.
believe Chiclet will talk more about the budget list later on, so pay
Wow.
attention to
Excited.
them.
I'm so excited
Yeah.
about
And then there's also what we call the wish list. I don't know if you do it, but this is something that I've started to do for the past couple of years with my small family. So months ahead, I already ask my family members, like my hubby and kids, what they really want. Okay,
Mhm.
I ask for maybe 5 things to go on their wish list so that there's still that element of surprise.
True.
Yeah,
True.
so they'll still
Yeah.
have to guess what they're getting, but you're sure that what it is something that's important to them,
Correct.
right?
Mhm.
And then of course, kasama din ako dyan. I have my own wish list, so I write down my 5 things as well. Do you
Okay.
do this?
Yeah, we do the same thing. We
Mhm.
have to give our the wish list like 4 weeks or before
Mhm.
Thanksgiving, so we can all prepare. So then we send it to family members.
Well, it's funny because when it's not effective for me because whenever I do that for my kids, like okay, list down 5 items. Then when I get to see the list, no, write 10 more because the first 5 ones are not realistic. So add some more, add some more, and then when I get to see, what goes with my budget. Okay, now I see it. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And since we're on the topic of gifts, this is your gift list. For me, this is my list for everyone outside of my immediate family. So your gift list should include the name of the person you plan to buy gifts for. Okay, the way I do it, I write down the individual's name and general ideas like 1 to 3 items and
mm-hmm,
a budget. That's
mm-hmm,
very important.
right,
How
Mhm.
much
right.
do you want to spend on the gift for this person? So the list is handy for when I go around and I see an item that fits my gift planner and that fits my budget, I can go ahead and get it. The list also tells me where and when to shop for specific items.
Oh,
By the way, I keep my lists on my Google Drive so I can access it on my phone when I do my rounds. You
oh,
do you do the same?
Yeah.
Google Drive.
Hmm.
yeah. I think it's on my phone. The notes for like the notes app on my phone.
The
Hmm.
menu list, and this includes your grocery list later on. So
Yes.
plan the food that you're serving, make a head count, making sure that you have enough for everybody. And of course, the menu list, like I said, will drive your shopping list closer to the date. Planning
Mm-hmm.
this ahead of time gives you a chance to like check on what you already have in your pantry. That way you don't shop for duplicates. Di
Correct.
kayo
Right.
nagdodoble-doble.
Yes.
Meron ka na nito, right?
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you're practical like me, this list will really come in handy. Next, your event list, then that is your calendar, right? I don't know if you do this, girls. For me, I have a monthly calendar. As the organizer of the family, I keep track of all the like monthly birthdays, appointments,
Yes.
trips, payment
I have to do
reminders.
that. I don't.
Oh,
I do that now. Mm-hmm.
it's easy because it's just the two of you. But if like Jack, you have a large family. Now, like Chiclet, if you don't do the monthly list, at least make one for the holiday season to keep track of where you need to be at on certain days. Because it's the busiest season. So I feel like your calendar will be packed with
Correct.
holiday parties, meet up, concerts that you want to see, shows that you want to see. You
Yes.
can even jot down reminders for at least the busy month. I don't know if you do this too. It's always been my practice to keep a day-to-day to-do list. So this is different from your like monthly calendar, but this is your day-to-day. I
Galing ni Tin. Very good, Tin. Very good.
I have just one word for that. For me.
Oh,
procrastination.
I was a procrastinator.
I used
That's why I take talagang effort to
mm,
do this now. Kasi I want to
mm,
get out of that, I want to get out of
get
that
it done
hole.
over with. Yes.
So I keep a like I said, I keep a day-to-day to-do list. So
Okay.
even for work, for the
Yes.
home, right? This is where you can be very detailed. You can even add a
Mm.
column for who will do it.
Oh my
Kasi
gosh.
ideally, you want to delegate naman. When it comes to
Or
the holidays, you can't
yes.
be expected to do everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
like us, like gaya kami ni Jay, we're a team. So he can do this and I can do that. Delegating also makes for efficient use of time.
All right, good stuff. Naku, ang sarap ng kwentuhan natin. But anyway, why is making a list such a very important practice for you? Why is it important?
Well, especially for the holiday season,
Mhm.
it helps me stick to my budget.
Correct.
Kasi 'di ba, in my experience, mas napapamahal ka or you end up spending more when you don't have a plan for gifts,
True.
for food, if you're rushing last minute, or you don't have time to, "Oh, does this fit my budget? Do I have enough money for this?" Right? So
Mhm.
having the lists in advance help you kind of structure your spending
Mhm.
and plans out the days when you need to do this, do that. It ensures that you have time to do everything that needs to be done, that everything is covered. You're not forgetting anything.
Mhm.
This works for me. It helps me feel in control and not
Yeah.
overwhelmed with all of the stuff that needs to be done for holidays. So
Same.
having those lists really keeps me calmer and less panicky. Diba? Hindi ka na
Yes.
magpapanik.
Less
Because
stressful for you.
Yeah.
mhm, because when you get overwhelmed, the tendency is, you're gonna panic. You won't able to accomplish most of the job. You get demotivated. You're no longer excited for the holidays, right? Okay. And for last na lang. So, what best practices that you can share for our listeners?
These have worked for me in the past, okay? One, become aware of it early on. Like I start thinking about it by October or
Mm-hmm.
September if you like, right?
Mm.
Okay. Like I said before, you can start off with a mental list, but you really, really have to write it down or type it down if that's easier for you. For me, it's a spreadsheet. Can you believe? I know it's so old school, but for those like the younger generation and the more techie people out there are apps and tools that
Mhm.
are available
Yes,
that let you organize and make your
you're so
list.
lucky.
So explore what's out there and choose what works for you. Also, make sure you update your spreadsheet when the actual amounts come in, so
Mm-hmm.
that you have something to work with for the next year. You can compare it to your budget next year,
Mhm.
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then also trying to go with the digital times, I also now utilize my phone, as mentioned,
Yes.
my phone alarm, phone calendar for setting reminders, even though it's annoying or
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
So the beauty of having lists in advance, if it
Mhm.
helps you delegate and gives the other party, some time to get ready for the task assigned to them. So they're
Mhm.
not surprised too, right?
Normally, what's your time frame for creating the list? What's an ideal time that you can suggest?
My ideal time frame, like I said, is October or
Yes.
as early as September if you
Mm,
like.
the sooner,
The
right?
sooner the better, I
The
think.
sooner the
Because for
better.
us, especially in Canada, Thanksgiving is done by second week of October, diba? So you can already move on and start thinking about like Christmas and New Year.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, yan, from things, start it early. The sooner the better, sabi nga ni Chick. Because, you may think that it's not here yet or it's still gonna take months, but with how fast time flies now, you're gonna be surprised. It's gonna be next week, or it's gonna be like you only have like 2 more weeks before the big day. Is anything else thing that you wanna add?
Yes, I have a last tip that
Mhm.
I guess that's you all should remember. Share your lists so everyone's on the same page, especially family members, because holidays are a family thing. So
Mhm.
make everyone a part of it,
Mhm.
and then it can all be you, right? So share to
Correct.
everyone who's gonna help out.
All right. Thank you. Share it with everyone. Nako, I hope you guys are writing down whatever all the tips that we're giving out to you. Brace yourself, guys, because it's gonna be a long talk with Chick because she's gonna be talking about or discussing with you how to create a budget during the holidays? Of course, there's no better person to ask this because she has Chinese blood in herself. They have a business, a long time running business in the Philippines. So anything about finances, this is the person that we go to. All right. She is gonna be here to, give out some highly recommended and effective way of managing your money during holidays. Chick, I am so excited. I'm gonna get my notes. I'm gonna take down.
That was hilarious. But I mean, I really do agree. Like Chinese people are very good in business and very good with money.
I
Very
told
good with
you.
But
money.
I don't really know if I am that good, like my Chinese ancestor. So I'm just gonna try to give you some tips on how to create a budget. So let me just tell you. So these tips that I am about to share to you guys are based on my own experience also, and for me, it pretty much worked. I know that Tim has mentioned this. So if you go through your last year's budget about the holidays, you will have an idea on where to start. So let's say, okay, so last year this was my budget. For this year, what I suggest is that, okay, you have to consider also, inflammation. Sorry, not inflammation.
Inflammation.
Tama ba ba?
Wait,
Doktor ka?
Hindi ko na, Chinese doctor
Businesswoman,
pa rin to.
businesswoman.
Chinese doctor pa rin to.
inflammation. I meant inflation. Right.
I remember.
So for this year, you have to consider also the inflation. So we know, it's recession time, not just here in North America, but also in the Philippines. So what I suggest is that you start saving more money and adjusting your list or your budget. So this is kind of like being realistic. If you plan ahead, like what Ting said, you can have, or you will have enough time to save money for those allotted, like for food, for gifts, for clothes. So if you have extra money every week, you can just put aside a cash, or deposit that in your savings to add more budget for your holiday spending.
Correct.
Plan ahead. It doesn't matter when it's September. You can buy gifts September when they have, on sales, like toys. Those are not going to expire. Buy one at a time, and you can just save them for holidays. So people who just doesn't mind getting gifts early on, every time they get and find they see very good discount or like good sale, so they just try to grab that stuff. But you have to remember, guys, that anything that does not expire, or for toys, like for my granddaughter, she is 7 months. On Christmas she'll probably like close to 1 year, so I can buy her this kinds of gifts, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah,
just be
great tip.
mindful of that. No buying food or chocolates and anything of that, because they have expiration date.
True.
One more tip is you have to decide whether you choose to use cash or credit card.
Ayan na.
That is, when you pay cash, that means you purchase the item, it's all done. They take that money from you, or probably debit, would withdraw right away from your checking account fund.
Mhm.
That's it. Period. You don't have to worry about anything. Credit card is something I always use. Major credit cards, especially even in the Philippines and in North America, we do have cash back. So just be aware of there are different types of like rewards, like probably cash back or miles, like when you go travel, right? So when I go to the dollar store or Dollar Tree, I would use or credit card to purchase like $2. But for me, it doesn't matter, because what counts is what I get cash back or points from that credit card. One thing to also consider, it could be, well, it is actually a loan from the bank, but you have to make sure when using your credit card, you have enough funds to pay the full amount. not just the minimum amount, the full amount on your due date. I
Mhm.
have practiced that when, like, since I came from Canada, that has been a very good advice that I got from my employer and from my aunt. I would pay the total amount due. When you don't pay the right amount, because the penalty and interest rates
Mhm.
are different, so it just
Piles up.
doubles
Yeah.
Snowballs.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
right?
But I totally 101% agree with Chick. If you are the type of person who can pay your balance at the due date, the full balance, not your minimum due, not just a portion of your, because remember, guys, this is a debt. It's a debt. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And here in from where we are here, a credit score means so much. It
Oh
dictates
yeah.
everything. It dictates your life, your credit score. All right. So because credit card impacts your credit score so much, that's why I'm so scared about that. For credit card, please make sure that you're using it because of the rewards, like what Chick is saying. I think that's a very, very wise decision, because you can get rewards out of it. But if you're just paying half of it, if you're not paying your whole, you're not gonna enjoy. You're putting yourself in a deeper hole. Is what I'm trying to say.
Right. So
So
let me just add. So you think that this is very complicated for you, if you want to use your credit card, but just, scared of being in so much debt, I suggest that, you know what, if you have cash, just put it in your checking. Checking, that means you already have the funds. You're just using your credit card. When you get your statement, you have the funds to just pay everything. Do not think that, okay, I'm going to borrow this because I don't have money. That's not the right,
The right
thinking.
use of a credit card.
You
correct.
have to make sure you have funds in your checking to transfer or pay your credit card the full amount when the due date comes. Also, okay, so shop for sales and promotions and coupons. I love that. I'm always into promotions. First thing that I can give you or suggest is, if you have a store website that you always shop your clothes,
Mm-hmm.
do like sign up for email subscription. For
Yeah.
email subscription, they give you 15 to 25 or even 30% off for your first
Yeah.
purchase. Coupons for groceries. I get some. I don't know if you guys get, like, from Kroger's. I get those. Kroger's is also like a grocery shop, so they send you coupons in the mail, or even digital. Like Ting said, go digital is more convenient. So there's a lot of promotion and coupons to just be aware. Right. So next will be, let others contribute. We call this potluck. This is
True.
very here. It's a good practice in North America. We should also, like, I want to suggest it to also even in the Philippines, right? Do not be shy to ask, hey, like, what are you gonna bring or what are you gonna
Yeah.
contribute? Because this will make a big difference in our budget,
Yeah.
truly. And I'm pretty sure they will offer. Just let them contribute. Regifting. So regifting, it is actually already practiced here in North America. Don't worry, guys, it's okay to regift. But I would just say some important reminders that when you regift, please make sure, just in your memory, remember who gave you that gift, because we don't want to be sending that same gift to another person who gave you that gift.
Yeah. Sending it back. Let's
Imagine
just avoid
how
that.
imagine the shock of their face when they get that gift. All right. So just be mindful of that. And also, second, please do not regift very, heirloom, very memorable or sentimental items that your parents or your family member give or gave to you. So it's very, just keep it as just for sentimental values.
Just something that I want to mention about regifting, because we might have some listeners who might think that why are they giving out our gifts? There can be a situation wherein you can re-gift, and probably one, if you have, like if you have already that item and you were gifted the same item, you can do that. If you
Mhm.
receive double item, I mean,
Yeah.
if you receive the same gifts from two people, these are things you're kind of like just sharing of what you have. So please, I hope they don't, take it the wrong way,
Oh,
because
yeah.
it really happens here in the US. It happens so much.
Mhm.
It happens a lot. So I just wanted to make sure that that's clear for our listeners. Go ahead,
You're
Jay.
right, Jack. It happens here, but over in the Philippines, um, where we grew up, it's kind of taboo. They always say, you don't give away what's been given to you.
Mhm.
But if you're just being sometimes practical, like for reasons that Jack mentioned, right? That can be, acceptable.
Yeah, or the,
You have
Yeah.
to just open your mind to it.
yeah,
Mhm.
only if,
Yeah.
like I said, only if the situation calls for it. You might have an item given to you, but it's something that you really can't use it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
if you cannot use it, let it be useful for some people. So share
Yeah.
it, right? Okay,
Right.
so
Correct.
go ahead. I know Chick still
Yeah.
has a lot in her list, so go ahead, Chick.
Please also do not regift anything that has logo from your company. That is not being like practical, whatever. That's being cheap, like
That
really cheap, cheap, cheap. So
that
that's not
there's that word for it.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is gonna be an option for you guys. Regift is okay. Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Um, actually not really sure right now if you really get a big discount if you wait for Black Friday or Cyber Monday. But if you feel like it works for you, fine. I suggest you don't go in the store. It's always we have online. Pretty
Mhm.
sure they have the same amount. You can just order from the website online, and also just keep on being on track with promotions and deals. Online shipping also is a big thing. You think you're getting discounts from your stuff, but if the website or the store keeps charging you online deliveries, of course, that's not a good deal. So make a bulk purchase, let's say in Amazon, because you plan ahead, you have all this list, and you've seen that, okay, so from this person A, B, C, D, I will get stuff from Amazon. So
Yeah.
I get free deliveries. Or at least if you get charged, you only have one time delivery fee.
Correct.
Another suggestion is that if you are a member, let's say H&M member, you're a member there, they always give you free deliveries no matter how much you purchase. 10, $15, it doesn't matter, because some website also gives you free delivery if you have a minimum purchase of $50. So guys, all in all, I'm just saying, I know it's a little bit of work, but it's all worth it if you do your research online. Online is very, very convenient. You just have to sit there and do click, 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 and this and that. You're going to get all the information and all the savings that you can actually get from, spending, especially this holidays. I want you guys to know that this is also another option. If you are really broke and you don't have money to buy all these gifts, let's just put aside the material things. You
Mhm.
can always visit a friend, call a friend, or whatever. Just have some coffee, go out or talk. This is, I guess, more personal than, just really giving material stuff. And you don't have to pay a lot. You just have to do the effort of talking to them, calling them, seeing them. And that can be also a very nice Christmas gift, you know, for your friends and family.
Right.
True. Thank you.
Right?
Thank you, Chick. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a lot. I think. What are your tips for, I know, because decoration is a big thing, whether you're in the Philippines or in the US. But of course, we still have to give out some reminders out there. When it comes to decoration thing, what can you share for us?
Yeah, for decorations naman, as if expert decorator. You know what? But us moms, we're more in charge of planning this detail, the decoration. And I don't know about you, but I really enjoy it. It all depends what type of decorator you are, and again, the budget. So I'll share with you just a few general tips that have worked for me personally in the past. So, number one, I'm a minimalist. I would love to embellish my entire house with garlands, huge displays, and such. But honestly, I just don't have the time and the budget. That's being very honest. Because decorating can get expensive, right? So, this is my tip for busy and practical moms like me. Just being realistic with your life, simple, small touches around the house work for me. So, a blow up Santa or any inflatable for your front lawn, lights on the tree in front of my house, that works for me. I have a Christmas tree with gifts underneath, a holiday centerpiece on my dining table and my coffee tables, a wreath on my front door, figurines on my entry table, holiday throw pillows, you know. And because I'm Filipino, there's going to be a parole in my window. So those are my basics. And then a tip, Christmas decor is cheaper the days immediately after Christmas. And when you go buy inflatables, you can go, they're less expensive when it's off season. So go and check them out then. Stay away from trends because trends come and go. So what you want to do is stick to the basics. For me, it's gold, silver. There's just a touch of blue because that's my favorite color. Also consider your existing color palette in your house para bumagay what you're putting up for just the holidays, right? So you don't have to kind of like overhaul everything. Now, if you have the budget to spend on different colors and different themes every year, then go ahead, di ba? You do you. Pero this is for me, okay?
Yeah.
Also, going back to ornaments, you can personalize your tree ornaments by getting an ornament to mark a significant milestone in your life or in your family. Write the date on it, at least record the year. This is my way of incorporating family memories. Also, the dollar store can be your friend, especially if you love small decorations just to add to what you already have existing. It doesn't have to be expensive. Remember, you're already spending for so many things. There's food, there's gifts. It doesn't have to be expensive. Go to the dollar store and see what you can find there. Go ahead, Chica.
Yes, I agree. There are a lot of nice stuff in the dollar store that really doesn't look like a dollar. So spend time to
Oh.
go to the dollar store. You will be surprised.
So yeah, Jack mentioned DIY. So if you're into doing DIY, go get your materials sa dollar store. Pwede. And if you're doing DIY, make sure you start early because you don't want to be rushed, right, on your projects. Um, Next tip, lights on or lights off? That is the question. So what am I referring to? Kayo We're talking about decorations, di ba?
Thank you for the clarification. I was thinking
Yes,
about something else.
yes. Kasi parang na-excite si Chiclet eh.
Yeah, I'm thinking about something else.
Okay, going back. This is decorative lights that we're talking about. So for me, I keep my lights on while I'm still up. But the moment everyone goes to sleep, Christmas lights off, parol is off, any lights outside the house off. I do this just because I don't want any accidents like fires or trips or shortages happening while we're sleeping. And of course, it saves on electricity too, di ba?
Yes,
Do you
that's
do this?
Lawrence is so obsessed with lights. You can see LED lights everywhere in the house or dimmable lamps. So
Oh.
that is not going to happen. Good luck to me.
I'm the same with Lawrence because I really like decorating the house and like to observe my house when the lights are on, all the
Mhm.
Christmas lights. But there's things to cope up with this. Try to look for LED lights, like what Chick said,
Yeah.
because they save, you can save
They're
up on
cheaper.
electricity.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. So you
Mm.
guys are lights on. I'm lights off.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's a different episode. If you became a plantita over the lockdown, like you can incorporate them in your holiday decor. So you can put like tiny ornaments because they have kind of smaller stems. So just make sure that they're tiny and not so heavy, right? Smaller stems, smaller branches require smaller, ornaments, or just add tiny lights.
Yeah, or ribbons around the pot. And that's it, right? Or ribbon
Yeah,
around the pot. Mm.
that's easy.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, you can be just creative. Just
Yeah, of
creative.
course.
You don't need to spend too much. Just be
No.
creative.
Now, also what you can do, amp up your tablescape. People do this when they have like their holiday dinner, Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner. They really work on like bringing out their special tablecloth, their runners, uh, holiday placemats, your like charger plates, your glassware, special glassware, and anything, your dinnerware. Just make it special. So bring in holiday feels into your house with a scented candle, or if you have diffusers, even like food that's fragrant, cinnamon, right?
Yeah.
For me, if you ask me, the scent that brings me holiday feels is peppermint. Wrapping up the decoration topic. So at the end of the season, when the holidays are over, store your decor in a tote, and then reuse and recycle them for the following year. And you can make small additions just to update, freshen up your decor for the new year.
I think it's my turn now to somehow
Yeah, yeah,
share,
yeah.
yeah, whatever I can when it comes to, you know, naman preparing your holiday dinner. Okay, so we've mentioned so many things: budget, planning, listing, and all that. So by this time, you should know why it's important to list things down, because you have to make sure you have all your ingredients and you have to start buying them early at the grocery store. Those that do not expire, like what Chick said, you can start buying those canned goods. The last part would probably be the meat. Now, remember that this is the busiest time of the year. So make sure that you remember these items go out so fast. So you don't want, the last thing that you want is to actually adjusting your menu, because there's no more beef, there's no more steak. You ran out some of your ingredients. Make sure that you have plenty to make it a feast, but make sure that it's not in large servings, because sometimes all of this food will go to the waste bin the next day after or 2 days after. If you have a family favorite, probably that's the one that you can serve in large servings, so that you can reheat and eat it again the next day. And also, I would like to suggest that think of foods that the whole family love to eat. You know why? Because this will last a memory for your kids, that when they grow up and when they try to, when they taste something, they're like, oh, it reminds me of our Christmas dinner. If you guys enjoy that meal together, it will build a lasting memory to your children and to all the family members, right? And if you just want to eat outside at the restaurant, make sure that you make your reservations early on, because it's gonna be full pack all the time. It's the busiest time of the year, like we always say. There's menus that can be found online, so if you want to start planning what to order it way ahead, so that you can avoid long waits. All right, early on pa lang, apply for your time offs na at work, because a lot of people will be doing the same thing. Makipag-unahan ka na.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Makipag-unahan ka na, because you don't need, you just don't need 1-2 days. You need at least the whole week to prepare. Anything else, guys, that you feel that we have missed that we can share with the group?
Also, some people celebrate Christmas to go, travel.
Yeah.
I suggest, if you go to that path, you need at least 6 months to plan ahead for travel, especially if it's holiday, Christmas. The hotel flights, very expensive. So you would want to do like 6 months or even more, for saving money, and get a really fair, good prices for that. So it's just based on my experience. We have to just mention that because not all are, like spending Christmas and preparing, cooking, but other families also prefer going to
Interesting.
travel other countries and just, yeah, just have like, yeah, like a really vacation holiday Christmas. So that's additional tip for travelers who
Yeah, yun
consider
pala.
taking
Mm-hmm.
vacation.
We forgot about that. You know, if you guys are wanting to spend it this way, make sure you have longer time frame
Mhm.
for preparation. Alrighty. So there you have it, folks. We hope that this helpful tips can serve as your guide as you prepare for the holidays. It's just a few weeks away. So for those of you who have started getting ready for the holidays, good job kayo dyan. And for those of you naman na you have listened to our podcast and you now started to feel excited. You're excited to start preparing. So go, game na. Let's get started. And ladies, any last few words that you'd like to share to our listeners about holiday preparation, like in general?
So, what I've learned is that you can't plan for everything. Like you do your best and you think you have it all down, but be ready for last minute issues to come up. Be ready to troubleshoot. Don't panic, because being prepared for most things in advance will make it less stressful. Just think about that.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Thank Chick.
Me, keep it simple, be practical, and be happy to whatever you can give to people or share. Just be contented. And then
Yay.
you're going to have a very relaxing and joyous holiday.
There you go.
Yay.
See,
Just be
coming from
happy.
our, yeah, see, ibang perspective, I like it. Thank you so much. I guess for me, I think all the time, do not forget the reason why you're celebrating this, whether it's family, whether it's spiritual reasons. Do not forget the reason why these holidays are being celebrated. And with that, again, ladies, thank you so much. As always, I always enjoy our time. And to our listeners, we hope that we were able to share some helpful insights in our episode for today. And don't forget, our new episodes drop every Thursday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 a.m. Mountain Time, and 8 p.m. Philippine time or Manila time. Chick?
And for our listeners, please follow IG or Instagram and Facebook at Churvapalooza. Leave comments and suggest topics, please. We like that. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel also. Engage with us on our social media platforms. We promise to reply to all your messages.
All right. I'm going to get back to those lists now, right? Again, this has been Ting.
Chick.
And Jack.
Join us again next week for another round of talks, laughs, and so much more here in Churvapalooza. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.